A lot of things that people don't know about us as African immigrants. Where we came from, everybody looked like you. Everybody sound like you. But yet, we are always willing to embrace the world with all the differences and challenge. That's what led us to a country where we don't speak the language, we don't know the culture. And if you see the people that's sitting next to you or around you, it is a testimony of what I'm referring to.
You know, our future depends on all of us working together to build a better nation. As the late Martin Luther King Jr. once said, we may have come here in different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. I'm so excited to be here, and I've prepared a special proclamation in honor of our African immigrant community here in Colorado, and I will read it to you. Whereas, during African Immigrant Month, we celebrate our collective accomplishments, annually highlighting our community champions and the importance of civic engagement. Whereas during African Immigrant Month, we showcase the positive contributions of all African peoples in Colorado. Whereas we seek to honor the African community's positive impact across Colorado and celebrate the diversity that they continue to contribute across our state and our communities. Whereas during the month of August, we recognize the value African immigrants add to Colorado's cultural and economic strength. Therefore, I, Jared Polis, Governor of the state of Colorado, do hereby proclaim August as African Immigrant Month.
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. You made our dream come true, and we cannot thank you enough. We appreciate your collaboration, appreciate your partnership, appreciate your support. On behalf of the African Leadership Group and the entire community, we wanted to present you with this Community Impact Award because that's the impact you have on us. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
I'm honored. Thank you so much.
President, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
And our responsibility as the leaders of Africa is to make Africa a better place. A place that even if you have to leave to seek opportunities, to get better education, that you should know that you must be able to return. We expect that as we go forward, Africa will be the place of the future.
This event seems to get bigger every year. When I attended last year's event, it was at the Denver Botanic Gardens. And this year it had to move to this wonderful resort just to accommodate the impact and the growth that ALG has had since last year's Afrik Impact. A few years ago, refugees and immigrants' economic impact was measured in Colorado. It was calculated that for every dollar spent on refugee resettlement, over $1.50 is generated in industry activity throughout Colorado's economy. And for every dollar a refugee earns, over $25 are generated in industry activity. When we invest in you, we invest in all of us.
Always say, take risks, get involved in your community, and get out of your comfort zone. If you can impart that to our young generation, we're leaving them in good hands.
My name is Tom Graham. I'm a sergeant with our PAR unit here at the Aurora Police Department in District 1 here. Papa Dia called and invited us to come down and join the festivities and the celebration, to interact with the folks from the church here and from the community. And then we took it as an opportunity to bring some stuff down, talk to people about police work, and talk to kids about safety and things. As you know, Aurora is probably one of the most diverse communities or diverse cities in the state. So we like to interact with everyone that we can, have the community become comfortable with us and us with them. Well, for the organizer, Papa Dia, we want to thank you, and Lori, who helped him out quite a bit. Thank you for inviting us. We enjoy coming out to these events. And then for the kids and everyone else that's coming, please come on up, say hi, get used to us. We'll have some more officers here later, meet the officers that work here in the city and get to know us.
My name is Thomas Elias Lockhart III. I found out a little bit about this event from my cousin, and I did a little research and called to be a vendor, and I was really excited about what they were doing and what they were planning. That starting out as a week to try to turn into a whole month of celebration for the African immigrants coming to America. And so was very excited to be a part of it. So I got on board, they liked my work, and the rest is history, so we're here now. I've been doing my art my whole life. I got really serious about it about 19 years ago. And since then, just no turning back. I've been doing it full time for about 2.5 years. And prayerfully that I can just keep on growing and keep on learning and be a blessing to other people too as well, and that my art will bless other people. Well, I believe that art is life, and art is a part of us. Art is an investment. Art is something that you should take seriously and try yourself and learn about other artists around the country and around the nation and your neighborhood and be able to grow with it. Because art tells a story. It's like a picture tells 1,000 words, so does a painting. There's so many different expressions and so many different things that you can do with art, from cubism to realism to many other different types that you could do with abstract, and everybody gets their own sense and they draw their own emotion from the piece of art that they have. It helps it continues on through cultures and through passed down through generations. And it's one of those things that will never go away, and art is one of those things that continues to appreciate.
My name is Robert Corey Reed. That's Robert Corey Reed on Facebook, Instagram, and all that. We're here actually to promote our brand. We actually have 2 brands going right now. One is Copaesthetic brand. You can find these on copaestheticbrand.com. That's copaestheticbrand.com. Another brand, I'm actually wearing this brand, the flyest thing going right now. We call these Afro tops, short for dashiki, some modern and new for the 2019 era. Whenever you want to go out, look good, be fly, this is what you wear.
My name is Rasheed Lawal, first generation American, born and raised in Aurora, Colorado. Both my parents are from Nigeria. Well, we actually heard about this opportunity and wanted to be a part of it. We're a relatively new brand, and we thought this would be a great opportunity for us to come out, meet some people, spread awareness to the people about our new brand, and maybe make some sales. When I arrived in Montana, the first thing, my first week, I went up to the Capitol building. And when I entered the Capitol building, to my right was the office of the Secretary of State. And to my left was the office of the governor. And guess where I decided to go? The office of the governor. And as I approached the office, I got stopped. And the lady said, "Do you have an appointment?" I said, "No." She said, "Would you like to make one?" I said, "Yes." And so as I'm writing my name down, this gentleman comes behind me and says, "May I help you?" I said, "No, I'm here to meet the governor." He said, "Well, I am the governor. My name is Mark Roscoe." I said, "Nice to meet you, sir." And he said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Well, I'm just from Africa last week. I thought I should come and meet you." And he said, "What part of Africa?" I said, "Liberia." And he knew a little bit of Liberian history. He said, "Oh, where the slaves went. Come on in." And I walked in his office. And he said, "What do you do?" In those days, because I wasn't working the first week, I traveled with my resume everywhere I went. And as soon as he said, "What do you do?" I pull up my resume from my pocket and hand it to him. And he looked it over and pressed his intercom. "Pat, would you come in?" And this lady came in and he handed my resume to her and said, "How can we help Mr. Collins?" And she looked at my resume and said, "Oh, Intermountain Children's Home is looking for counselors. Why don't you apply and use us as your reference?" And I got interviewed the next week and started working. That's Montana for you. Yeah, there was a huge African presence. My wife and I. No, on a serious note, no, there isn't. There isn't. It was my wife and I rely on her for everything because my wife had lived in Helena before. She went there as an African exchange student. And so she knew a little bit of the city. In fact, the present governor of Montana and my wife were classmates in high school when she was an African student. And, but you know, when you're not doing anything wrong, you fear nothing. Because I went there with a clear heart, so I wasn't afraid of anything. I mean, can you imagine my first week I met the governor? I got job the second week, and I joined the military within 6 months. Come on. And this is not unique to me. Every one of you here in this audience can do the same thing because you've been through what I've been through. Most of us have been through the same thing. And so, but it just takes that little extra oomph and you can do it. So you went from being a youth counselor, going to the military, to mayor. No, you missed one step. What did I miss? I was a janitor before the military. So I'll tell you this story. So I knew I needed more money because I had a wife and a daughter I had to care for. And so even being a youth counselor, it didn't pay well. So I saw this ad in the paper. They were looking for a janitor at a local elementary school. and I applied, but I fudged my resume by, I didn't tell them I had a bachelor's degree for fear I would be overqualified. So I only put high school, and I got hired. And then one of the teachers were going on maternity leave, and I went to the principal and said, can I sit in while she's on maternity leave? She said, do you have a degree? I said, yes, I have a bachelor's. She said, but why didn't you tell me? I said, I didn't want to appear overqualified for the janitor. And so she said, well, just go and register at the educational center, and I will have you here for the duration while she's on maternity leave. And I still remember very well my first day in the classroom, second grade classroom. I'm writing my name on the board, and the little girl, second grade, oh my God, the janitor is our teacher. So yeah, they're innocent, they say whatever's on their mind.